I just want to run something by y'all real quick, boxing fans. Just give a quick scenario. This game's called boxing, right? So ultimately, to go the furthest in the game, to reach high heights in this game, you know, go the furthest in your career, you want to be a boxer as opposed to being a slugger, a brawler. You want to be a boxer because a boxer, when all hell breaks loose, can overcome anything. Because a boxer is not one-dimensional. He has different elements that make him up to be a boxer, which can get him out of different situations. Different situations meaning different styles coming at you. You got split it down to two basic things. You got boxers and you got brawlers, right? Now a brawler usually, a naturally born brawler usually comes from a bad environment. It just happens to be. It's not a stereotype really, but it's the truth. A naturally born brawler 9 out of 10 times comes from an environment where it's poverty, where there might be a bad neighborhood, meaning, you know, drugs, gangs and stuff like that. And he happens to be a product of his environment. Now, we're all products of our environment. Whether you can choose to take a good path or take a reckless path. And even if you take a good path, you still take along elements of your environment with you. You see what I'm saying? Because you're a product of your environment in one way or another. So brawlers like Marcos Maidana, Ricky Hatton, I'd say also Antonio Margarito and Ricardo Mayorga, these guys are all naturally born brawlers. But the thing with these guys is anybody can come off the street and say I'm a brawler. You know, I just swing and throw punches and try to take your head off. But these guys are gifted. That's why they're at the level they made it at. And I can't stand when people say they don't have no skill. You cannot fight in the game all these years and tell me there's no skill these guys have. They have some type of skill. It might be limited. Might not be much. You know what I mean? But they have some type of skill. Might even have attributes of an actual boxer. Like I said, it might be small amount, but they have some type of skill. You know what I mean? They have some type of skill. You can't just say they're skillless. They have some type of skill, or they wouldn't have made it to the level they made it at. So with that being said, we got Ricardo Mayorga versus Miguel Cotto. And that's supposed to take place March 12th of this year. And you know, when I first heard about this fight, I was like, I wanted Cotto to fight Berto. You know what I mean? I wanted to see him fight Berto. I thought Berto would be a good look for him. Get that belt off of Berto. Be the first one to beat Berto, and he won't be undefeated no more. Put Cotto back in the spotlight. You know what I mean? The match wasn't made for whatever reason. Then I thought and I said, wait, they said Ricardo Mayorga? That's a good fight. That's got me excited. Ricardo Mayorga versus Miguel Cotto. Now that's a fight I want to see. And I'm gonna start off by saying, ain't no way, shape, or form for everybody that's thinking that this fight, Miguel Cotto, like he's gonna sweep him, like this is a walkthrough. Hell no. Not in my opinion. Hell no. Ricardo Mayorga can hit. He can hit just as hard as Cotto, if not harder. If not harder. And yes, he throws wild punches, we know, wide punches. But guess what? This guy is so powerful that them wide punches have knocked some people out. Be it not top legit contenders, but they were grown men that stepped in the ring and they were called fighters. You know what I mean? So they got knocked out. You know what I mean? This dude has knocked out some people with wide punches. So Miguel Cotto has to watch out for them punches. Ricardo Mayorga, man, he's one of the most, just obviously, you know, just looking at him, watching him, he looks like one of the most difficult guys to fight. He's just so unorthodox. He comes at different angles with these wide punches, and his punches are wide. That's what makes it difficult too. You know how Manny comes from different angles, but Manny punches are accurate. Ricardo Mayorga comes from different angles with these wide ass punches, so it's like sometimes you don't know what you're getting hit with. Speed shouldn't be a problem for Cotto. I don't think he has to worry about speed with Ricardo Mayorga, but his angles he comes from with that awkward, you know, wild punches, and he throws some punches. I don't know, man. He throws some funny punches, man. I don't know if you ever seen Ricardo Mayorga fight, man. You'll know what I'm talking about, man. He's very unorthodox. He's a very tricky opponent to fight, man, and he's no walkover. You know, this guy has knocked out Vernon Forrest, you know, who was a very good boxer, You know, he beat a boxer. So, you know, Miguel Cotto is a boxer himself. I consider Cotto a boxer, but he's not a pure boxer, obviously. But Miguel Cotto likes to get on to the inside and be an inside fighter so he can attack your body and put you away, of course, with his left to the body. That's his signature. And, this fight, I see it 50-50. I give Cotto, you know what, I should say not quite 50-50, but yeah, I see it 50-50 in general, but I give Cotto the edge. You know why? Because Cotto is the boxer. He's the one with more skills, more knowledge. Ricardo Mayorga's been in the game for a minute, Ricardo Mayorga does, Cotto's got also age on his side. He's, I think, 30 years old. Ricardo Mayorga's 37 now. But one reason I was excited for this fight is Ricardo Mayorga talks shit to another level. You think people say Mayweather talks shit. If you ever seen Ricardo Mayorga, he talks shit to another level. He's worse than Mayweather. I mean, he talk, especially when he attacked De La Hoya, man. He talked about his mother, his kids. He takes shit to another level. You know what I mean? I think Mayweather talks shit, but I don't think he takes it to the level Ricardo Mayorga takes it at. Another interesting thing about Ricardo Mayorga is, dude smokes cigarettes, man. I don't know how often he smokes it or how much he smokes, but for a fact, he smokes cigarettes and he drinks during training camp. I don't know how he has the stamina to go 12 rounds, but he's definitely proved it before because he's been 12 rounds a lot of times and he's went all 12 rounds hard. This is Ricardo Mayorga is a game fighter. When I say game fighter, a game fighter comes to fight. He always tries. You know what I mean? He's not one of them guys that just come for a payday. When Ricardo Mayorga steps in the ring, he comes to fight. He comes to fight, meaning he comes to actually win, and he does his best. And he does his best for 12 rounds. He doesn't get tired like that. You know what I mean? Unorthodox as hell. No footwork, flat-footed. But I tell you what, man, he's got a lot of power. Just as much power as Cotto, in my opinion. And he can put Cotto on his ass. And Cotto can put Mayorga on his ass. But this is no walk-through fight for Cotto. Cotto has to come ready because he's going up against a guy, like I said, he's a game fighter, man. Ricardo Mayorga, his last fight, his fight before his last fight, which was against Shane Mosley, he did good against Shane Mosley, man. He obviously, we all know he got knocked out in the 12th, dramatic knockout Shane had, but up until that point, he was doing good. If the fight had went the distance, I feel he might have been able to get a draw. Who knows? Maybe even a win. You know how the judges are nowadays. But I felt even if he didn't get Shane hadn't got a knocked out, I felt personally Shane did enough to win the fight. But you know how judges are. You know, I wouldn't have been mad if he had got a draw. Draw is fair, but they might have even did it like they might even gave it to Ricardo Mayorga. I don't know. But up until that point, he was doing good. Never less to say. Ricardo Mayorga's been knocked out by Shane Mosley, been knocked out by De La Hoya, and been knocked out by Trinidad. But all these three fighters he's been knocked out have something in common. They all Hall of Famers. So he's only been knocked out by top-level guys. A-class fighters. Excellent fighters that are going down in the Hall of Fame. All three of them. So he ain't got nothing to be ashamed of, man. I like Ricardo Mayorga. He's an entertaining fighter. We need more characters like that in the sport. He always comes. He always talks shit. He was kind of mild talking against Shane Mosley, but nevertheless, he always talks shit. And, if he really gets going in the shit talking, he gets real personal with it. He tries to get in your head. And another thing is Miguel Cotto is a mild-tempered, calm type fighter, so be interesting to see the press conferences and all the hype leading up into the fight when it gets closer to March. It'd be interesting to see how Miguel Cotto handles trash talking. Will Miguel Cotto turn into a trash talker himself, talk a little trash bag? Interesting, I want to see. Will he stay quiet but be more motivated and fueled to take this guy's head off? You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see. Speaking of Miguel Cotto, his last fight against Yuri Foreman, Manuel Stewart, new trainer, man, much better job. Footwork improved. Thought he had pretty damn decent footwork. He was definitely throwing that jab. He was doubling up on that jab a lot. Excuse me. He was doubling up on that jab a lot, which I like. Miguel Cotto, man, I think the one thing he needs to do, and I'm not saying he's slow, I just think he needs to get his hand speed up, especially against Ricardo Mayorga. Mayorga has problem when somebody has speed. That's his problem. But Mayorga, man, he's a game fighter. I love him. Even when he's losing, he'll celebrate. He'll make it look pretty. He'll always put his hands up after every round like he won every fucking round, even though he's really losing the fight. He'll always stay enthusiastic and fight all 12 rounds. How you smoke cigarettes and drink, during training camp and press conferences. I don't know. But that's what makes him such an entertaining character. I mean, we got a guy here that does everything that you shouldn't do outside the ring. You know what I mean? The perfect example of what you don't want your young upcoming fighter to do or be, and yet he's successful, man. I tell you, man, some guys are these brawlers, like I was saying, man, these brawlers, they're just gifted. They are really gifted, man. They just have a gift that they can go in the ring. They don't have to be that accurate. They don't have to have that much speed. They can be flat-footed. They can throw wide punches. But you know what? Speaking for Mayorga in general and like McDonough, they both have power. They both come with a lot of determination, willpower, relentlessness. And, you know, that is enough to get them to where they're at today. You know, and everybody can't do that. You know what I mean? So when a brawler is that gifted, you know, he can even beat a lot of boxers. It's crazy because unless you're a real skilled boxer like Mayweather or something, but you know, a guy like Mayorga, man, he can beat a lot of guys up, man, because he's just like McDonough. He's gifted, man, real gifted. Looking forward to this fight, man. Y'all leave me your comments and let me know what y'all think. Oh yeah, man, I forgot to say. Cotto wins the fight by split decision. I'm going to go with Cotto by split decision. Like I said, he has the edge. So, you know, y'all leave me comments. Let me know what y'all think.